What is your guess? I can't go into that store ever again story. I got a gym membership for the first time recently. A lot of the machines are pretty self-explanatory, but I've never used a lot of them, so I have no idea what I'm doing. So a few weeks ago I'm trying out the endless stare machine, and in front of me is a guy on a machine working his arms, like making circular pedaling motions. I thought, I could do my arms too. So I take the machine next to his, set the timer for 10 minutes, just circling away. I finish my 10 minutes and look down by the seat to see handles. It was a leg machine. I sat there for 10 minutes in front of the entire gym, God, and everybody circling my arms like a lunatic. I mean, I'm still going back because I paid for it, but I'm not going to look anyone in the eye there ever again. There's a guy at my gym who does like jumping karate kicks all the way across the whole floor, then all the way back over and over. I'm waiting for him to decapitate someone walking crossways by accident. I would not even blink at you pedaling with your arms, or whatever the heck you did. There's always some dude doing something weirder and more intentional. Just look like you know what you're doing and everyone else will just assume you know more about the gym than them. Went to a pizza place to pick up an order. Was handed the food and said, "Thank you, sir." The response was, "My name's Tiffany." Had to send my wife in to get the food until Tiffany didn't work there anymore. Once I went to a restaurant in a resort. A probably 15-year-old girl wearing a freaking skirt kept getting called a sir. I was just flat and had short hair. Also, I guess my unplucked/waxed/threaded eyebrows made me look more masculine, but damn, I was wearing a skirt and a shirt with a heart on it. It was so awkward. And why would anyone use sir for someone under 20 anyway? This is levels of dumb. And why would anyone use sir for someone under 20 anyway? Default polite greeting that, when used on actual males, is usually non-offensive and won't get you yelled at. Not a store, but a public library. We're at the counter, and the librarian is scanning the books we've selected. She was generously sized. My little brother, 4 or 5 at the time, tugs my mom down to whisper something in her ear. He was rather new to the concept of whispering. He put his hand up to shield his lips from the librarian. Despite all this, he says about the librarian at standard speaking volume, "Hey mom, you ever notice how fat that lady is?" Mom tried to play it off by saying something akin to, "He thinks it's okay to say it to others 'cause he says it to me. But my mom's not fat." It did not work. We used to go there every day when my mom didn't want to have to hire a babysitter to watch us during the summer. She'd bring us to her office and let us walk across the street to the public library to play games on their Windows Vista PCs or just read books. She'd always come to pick us up when she was done with work. She started looking for babysitters soon after. Back when I was getting married, I was sick as a dog and my soon-to-be bride insisted we go shopping for the wedding invites. Went into this pretty higher-end shop and really felt ill, and not just at the prices. Asked one of the workers if they had a restroom I could use. Long story short, took a massive smelly diarrhea dump, clogged the toilet, and they had no plunger to fix it with. Even though I only flushed once, the toilet kept running and it started to overflow. Rushed out, closed the door, grabbed my bride by the arm and just said, "We gotta go." I read so many stories of people taking massive diarrhea dumps in public toilets. Each time I can't help but think about the poor souls who do the cleaning later on. How do they fix it? I work in a bar. First you hope it is the opposite gender that you are. Then you use the "I can't go" in the girls/boys bathroom. This sometimes works. Usually the lowest ranking person just has to spend 30 minutes or so with someone else's poop. I manage a bar, but all my bathrooms are gender neutral and locking, which means that trick doesn't really work. But, you know, I'm the manager, so I've got other stuff to do. TBH though, I usually flip a coin with the runners, because let's be real, I've had to clean that shit before, and I hate to always give the worst jobs to them. While at the till at the convenience store paying for my lunch, the girl behind the counter asked if I wanted to go for a drink. Being married, I made my apologies hastily, pointing to the ring on my fingers, to which she replied that my lunch was a meal deal and would be cheaper with a drink. She never used the phrase go for again. I was with a group of friends in a very quiet store. We were slowly leaving one by one through the double glass doors. One of it was closed and the other stayed opened. I somehow thought the closed door was opened and vice versa, so I walked smack into the middle of the closed glass door. My face was imprinted on it. I guess my face was very oily. My friends and the shopkeeper came rushing to see if I was okay. Then all marveled at my squashed face imprint. I left quickly. Every time I walk past that shop I make sure I'm looking down or at the other side in case the staff recognized my face. Hey Joe. THATD, the guy I was telling you about, the one who ran into the glass and left a face print? Yeah. Really? Awesome. Where is that idiot? You missed him. He speed walked away like someone was chasing him. Went on a first date with this girl to a new restaurant in town. She proceeded to get sloppy drunk and made a huge scene. From the classic could not control the volume of her voice to insisting on trying to show me and some other gentleman nearby what kind of underwear she had on, while loudly insisting that she's a good girl though. The server we had seemed to get that I was not a willing part of this, but I was so mortified there's no way I'd ever go back. Note to self, never go on a date in a restaurant you really like. Edit. First date. True story, one of the best first dates I ever had was going to this corny chain sandwich restaurant that my social group always made fun of. I almost didn't go when my date suggested it, but then he explained his rationale. We can embarrass ourselves as much as we like because no one either of us knows ever goes here. So you guys married now, or what? My girlfriend fist bumped the clerk when he was actually reaching to grab a paper we had just signed. Anyway, we don't go to that tire kingdom anymore. I fist bumped a cashier at a grocery store a couple days ago. He was just handing me my change. Never buying groceries again. It brings up dark memories. That just means keep the change. You're their new favorite customer and they miss you. I pissed all over the floor of a toy store when I was a toddler. My poor dad was mortified, but the staff were very nice about it. The store's closed now, which really sucks. I don't think I actually remember the name of the place. Edit. Thanks for all the suggestions as to what the store's name might have been. It was actually an independent toy store, not a big chain like Toys R Us, which is still open in Canada. I did some searching on the Wayback Machine last night and found out that the store's name was It's All Fun and Games in Vancouver. If you worked there, sorry for pissing all over your floor. I wouldn't be too worried, man. I used to work in a toy store and you would be surprised by the amount of kids who vomit and pee out of excitement from going to a toy store. Are you sure you don't work in a pet store? Do barbershops count? Decided to get a haircut whilst having a cold. Sneezed and farted at the same time. Never went back. Oh god, I finally have a reason to share this story. One of the first jobs I had, I approached my boss in his office to discuss a report. As I was standing near him, he was sitting in his chair reading the file on his desk. I felt a sneeze come on. Knowing that I didn't have time to grab a tissue, I just turned away from him. However, the sneeze held off, but the gas in my stomach did not. I crop dusted the poor man. Embarrassed, I whipped my body back around to face him, and the centripetal force of my motion must have knocked my sinuses loose. I sneezed upon completing the spin, but was in too much shock to cover my face. I gave my boss both an aura of noxious odor and mucus spewed across his face. I was standing next to a colleague at work once while she spoke with a friend and had a sudden urge to cough while I was drinking water. I didn't have time to turn around or swallow the water, so I just spat it all in her face. I was fucking mortified. I sat on a Target shelf and the entire row of shelves crashed down onto the ground. Those shelves are not very strong at the wrong angle. They are made of Medicina metal, a uniquely pliable substance that fails when things like objects or air or photons or eyesight are laid upon it. They are made of Medicina metal, call it by its proper name, chinesium. Also, by the act of looking up the correct spelling, till there is in fact a /r/chinesium community here on Reddit. There truly is a subreddit for everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.